Have you ever gotten out of a meeting and you had a really long list of tasks that you needed to do to follow up on what was discussed in that meeting, and then you felt kind of sick to your stomach? Like, raise your hand if that's you. Okay, so today I'm doing a quick post-meeting processing party to show you how you can take all the stuff you need to do and then put it into your system, your command central, and it feels so good. I did this morning, so I'm excited to show you. Okay, so Eric and I work together from home. We also volunteer locally together, and we have 4 children together, and so we have a lot to discuss. And we found that if we had a morning meeting, we could just put it all out there, what we need to do, what we're thinking about, what we're working on, ask each other questions. And this daily huddle is really helpful. So today I brought him a whole list of things I needed his feedback on, and I ended up with this long list. Okay, so I wrote down all the things I needed to do. Now, the problem was that some of them need to be done today, some can be done later, some are multi-step, some are like on the computer. Anyway, I was feeling like it was too much. So here's what I did. I'm just going to walk through what my tasks were and how I process them really quickly so my mind is completely calm and I know everything is going to get done. Okay, so first I'll just give you the quick list. I need to coordinate dinner with a group of friends who reached out and set a date. We're measuring for signs for a new community resource center we're helping to create. It's some volunteer position we just took on. And so the measuring tape's by the garage door, but we need to go. We're going there tonight for a meeting, so we need to take that and measure. I need to get a flyer made with a QR code to advertise our free classes and volunteer opportunities. All the volunteers' information needs to be typed into a database. Each volunteer needs to complete this background check and safety training and submit it to the city, who then gives a badge, which my husband and I are going to pick up right before the evening the community resource center opens. That's like a long one. Okay, we'll get into that. We also need to create signs to hang on the doors for the variety of classes, and we need some kind of a sign-in process when people arrive. We're also being asked to log our service hours and have all the volunteers log their service hours. And we need to set up a contact email for the website. And we need to print some large QR codes that we can just carry with us because we find we're at events and we're telling people about it. And we just need a QR code instead of me holding up my phone. Okay, so those are just all the things that I was just thinking, man, that's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. In addition to, I was just jumping into a coaching call and we're trying to get some other details and emails done, and the dog needs to get groomed today, and I've got an errand, and like all this stuff that's going on. So I'm going to walk you through one by one and show you how easy it was. So first, coordinating dinner with our group of friends that reached out. Eric said, pick a date, go ahead and do it. We'll order some food in, easy. So I thought, okay, this follows the 2-minute rule. I'm just going to go ahead and open up my phone. I'm going to find a date that works for me and Eric because we have our calendar synced. And I'm going to send a group text and ask them if that particular date will work for them. So done, 2 minutes. And I blocked it on the calendar with a question mark. That's the note Eric and I have for each other, a little symbol, so that if there's a question mark on an event, it means we're not 100% committed yet or the person hasn't confirmed. It's just out there as an option. Okay. Next, we need to measure those signs for the new community resource center, and the measuring tape is in the garage, right, as we're heading out. So because I know I'm going to be coming back from the dog groomers and doing all the things right before we go, I thought, well, what if I set a little alarm on my phone? So I just pulled up my phone alarm, have it set for 20 minutes before our meeting, so it's right as I'm walking out the door, to remind me to get the measuring tape. And then I'll have it there with me, so we'll remember to measure, and we'll go from there. But that alarm being set is so great. I don't use alarms all the time, but things like remembering to take out the trash, stuff like that, the alarms are super helpful. Next, getting a flyer made with a QR code to advertise the classes and volunteer opportunities. I decided Sunday afternoon, it's a great time to just sit down and do some of this volunteer work. I have an open space. So I made a calendar reminder. I use Asana to send me reminders, and then I end up writing them here in my planner each morning during my planning session. So I went ahead and added that into Asana. Next, we have where each volunteer needs to do all the paperwork and submit to the city and get the badges and all that. So first, I did the 2-minute rule, and I sent a voice memo to just follow up with a couple of students who are helping us, reminding them about this paperwork and asking them to forward it on to the other volunteers. So that's done. And then I set a calendar reminder to follow up by a text next week to all the people who need to get these things done before the Resource Center opens. And then finally, I set a calendar reminder for me and Eric to pick up the badges the day before we need them. Okay, so now I can just know everyone has the information. I'm going to do a follow-up. We'll get the badges. We'll go from there, and my mind can rest. With the signs we need to hang on the door, I just added that to my calendar to work on next Tuesday because I have some time built in for project work and task work. And so it's enough of a buffer that if I can't get signs like printed professionally or something, I could just print them off of our printer and use painter's tape and it'll be good. Then for logging the service hours and needing to get the emails in the database and remind them to do it, we're still getting set up. So I just added a note to remind the people when I send the other paperwork reminder to track their service hours like on a digital note or a piece of paper or something like that for right now. And then I have a next in line project set up for creating a routine for logging hours. So let me explain that for a minute. Inside of my project management system, I have projects that are current, in progress or waiting, next in line, and someday. So getting a routine set up for logging hours with these volunteers, I'm like, that's just a next in line project. So putting that information there, maybe having a calendar reminder to bring it up to me thinking, well, I at least need to think about it maybe next Friday, something like that. That at least will bring it back to my attention. So I don't have to worry about it right this second because I'm waiting for other things to happen. So I just share that because sometimes when you do have things that are dependent on one another, it's nice to just give it a little space, set a calendar reminder, and just bring it back to your attention. And then that the contact email we need to set up. Again, it's a semi-quick task, but I can group it with the other work I'm doing for this volunteer project on Sunday. And then printing the QR codes, again, Sunday, I'm like, I could just do it. Even though, could I do it now technically, but there's a lot of other stuff I'm focusing on. So I'm just going to group those tasks. And I just know Sunday afternoon, I probably have about 30 to 45 minutes of project work that I can complete. Okay, so once all those things were just processed, then I can just move on with the other things I've planned for today. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of insight into the power of a command central and what a difference it makes, and how light and excited you can feel when you know that you have the ability to get things done in a way that doesn't stress you out. My goal is not to have you be ultra productive and do so much. It's to help calm your system and know everything is safe and be able to move at a pace that is sustainable. Now I just want to do a couple of fun celebrations from our community. This first one is from Anastasia, and she said, Step Mastery, Steps to Everyday Productivity, and the Mastery program, that is our signature program here at Learn to Become. She said, it has absolutely changed my life. I have started the program several times, and each time I make it farther through. And then she shares what her current setup looks like, but I love that she added, the biggest shift was my definition of a project. Whew, I've had to learn so much. I'm so happy that I did. So let's go through her current setup. She uses a bullet journal as a capture tool during the day, anything that comes to her mind, also as like a daily planner, and for her CBNAL, which is her context-based next actions list. Then she uses a color-coded Google Calendar for her calendar for appointments, right? She has a shared calendar on the fridge that's also color-coded, so great, that can work with her family. Then she uses ClickUp to manage her projects list. She has a sidetracked home execs cue card system that she purchased, I assume, for routines. She has a full version of a tickler file in an open bin, and we have a video on a tickler if you need that. And then she has a filing cabinet and a digital OneDrive software in order to have all of her archived materials. So the filing cabinet will hold anything physical, then OneDrive holds everything digital. And she also has external hard drive. She uses Remarkable and a Google Drive. And then for budget, she uses YNAB. You need a budget. So good. So she shares that she's still working on landing spots in her inbox and reference materials, someday incubation, texting everyone back at the end of the day, etc. But then she closes by saying, I'm feeling good and wanted to share. I hope that wherever you are in your step mastery journey, you take heart that this program has worked for so many and will work for you too. Feeling delighted. So I'm so proud of you, Anastasia. So excited for what you're building. And I love how you detailed your system. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And then next one I'll just share is from Jennifer. So in our Rise membership, we've been streamlining our indoor spaces. And she shared a photo and she said, I cleared this spot yesterday during our call. We gave everyone time to 10 minutes. We're all just going to clear it together. She said it had been that way for too long. I use it every day, but I need to organize it. So I had to make decisions about the stuff in the box, which had been there 5 years. Raise your hand if you have something in a box that's been there 5 years. She said, I just hadn't made the time. And we all understand how that goes. And so then she added, I can't believe what a difference it made to wake up and see this morning. It's one of the first things I see, so clean and neat. This shows me I can streamline other spaces with a brief time period. So content. And so this photo where you can see a dresser that just had stuff on it, and it wasn't terrible. It was just stuff, and a box, which isn't terrible. It's just a box. But now that she has this beautiful, clear space, I love that Jennifer articulated the message that it sends to her. It says, I can streamline spaces quickly, 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. And when I see everything calm and clean and neat, when I wake up in the morning, it's less just coming at me. And it gives me the ability to just feel calm. So 10-minute microbursts, so good. Tackling a little space. And we added some other details like how to use the 3-box method. Anyway, I can put that link in the notes if you want. But I hope that you feel a lift as you hear from your fellow becomers here at Learn to Become. We want you to be able to get out of the overwhelm, stop drowning in piles, be able to move at a sustainable pace, and truly have the bandwidth to do what matters most. Okay, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks so much for being here with us, and we'll see you soon at Learn, Do, Become.